LD 1729, not a phrase you'd typically throw around, but one on the minds of Central Maine power customers all over the state. If passed, the bill would create checks and balances within the state's major electric companies.
It's an independent, separate check, just like we have for our gas pumps on our electric meters.
It would establish a third-party regulator to check smart meters, making sure they properly measure customer consumption. And for big investigations, like the ongoing Public Utilities Commission probe into CMP right now, the electric companies could be on the hook for the big bill, not the ratepayers.
And the Public Utilities Commission could say, hey, you know, this investigation found some real wrongdoing, and therefore you're going to have to pay for some or all of the cost.
Lawmakers unanimously passed this bill, a move the governor says is a political ploy. In his veto letter, he says the bill is a misguided attempt by lawmakers to look good in an election year. He also says the bill's attempt to single out CMP is clear, a move that he calls unfair and unconstitutional.
You know, I think the problems that Central Maine Power has had are the reason that we realize this bill is necessary.
The power company that would be most affected by the bill actually supports it. A CMP spokesperson testified in April, saying the company takes every complaint seriously and supports extra regulation. Now the eyes of more than 500,000 customers are on the State House, waiting to see if this bill still makes its way through.
It would be shocking, and a lot of people are going to be watching very carefully to see if any legislators flip their votes to stand up for Central Maine Power instead of their customers.
Now the legislature will vote this coming Monday to override the governor's veto on this bill. Guys?
All right, Christina, thank you so much. These storms, well, they sort of broke the heat. It was a welcome relief for a lot of people, though.
That's right. Keith, the weekend, though, is looking pretty decent.
Oh, it's looking really nice. People are impatient about the humidity going away, though. They're like, come on, where is it? It's on the way. It's on the way. And the mountains and across the interior Maine are already dry. Take a look at these low temperatures, though. I just want to show you this because this is crazy for Maine to have a low of 77 in Portland. I think we talked yesterday about the fact that nowhere in Maine has ever had a low of 80 or above. So we were right on that line last night. Front has come through. The storms were not severe because the front came through early and the dynamics just weren't there. So the last of the rain long gone over the eastern part of the state and the southern part of the state as well. Clear now here on the backside of the satellite, looking pretty good. You can see the different flow. Look at the upper level flow here. See that? The clouds, that's where the drier air is coming from, even though the other clouds, the lower clouds, are moving to the north and east. So the atmosphere moving in that drier air. And here are the current dew points. The last to say goodbye to the very humid air out towards Eastport, but and down across southern York County. But the rest of us, a huge relief in the 40s in the mountains. By the time most people leave work today, a totally different air mass than they came in with. All right, the weekend looks fantastic, but don't get too settled in the cool conditions, guys. We have some heat returning for next week. We'll talk more about that in a few minutes.
The Maine Girls Academy, formerly Catherine McAuley High School, has struggled with enrollment for years. Yesterday, the only girls' private school in Maine announced it will not reopen in the fall. That follows a national trend. Up until 2015, the school was affiliated with the Sisters of Mercy and the Catholic Church. And interest in the Catholic schooling has dropped since its peak in the 1960s when the school first opened under the name Catherine McAuley. In the last 10 years, more than 1,300 Catholic schools in America shut down or consolidated. Catherine McAuley became a secular school under the name Maine Girls Academy, but it doesn't seem like enrollment bounced back. Lindsay?
All right, Chris, thanks. Now, graduate staff and coaches of the Maine Girls Academy say learning the news of the school's closing is tough. And today they shared their memories of the academy and their fight to keep the doors from closing for good.
This is the only all-girls school in the entire state of Maine. It's the only all-girls school in the entire country that lost its religious affiliation and decided to keep going.
You know, 43 years of my life, so it's tough.
He's been here for 43 years. He taught my mom.
And he taught my mom too, as well as myself.
So this is called the mall. And this is where we would have lunch and dances and everything out in between.
These are my yearbooks. I was actually the editor for all of these. The first two were award-winning yearbooks.
It's surreal to be thinking like about my memories there. We would eat lunch out there by the lion, out on that little patio.
I really thought that I knew things weren't good, but I really didn't anticipate that moment.
What I told my daughter, she called and she was in tears when she found out. And I said, look, I don't have all the information, but I'm going to fight for this the same way I would fight for anything that matters.
These are our class photos. Sister Over Mary was a big part of my life here.
We would go after every game, and we go and hug her after every game, and so that's bringing her our runner-up trophy. That's a big part of our story, but it's not the whole story. It's a pretty amazing story. We won the Western Maine finals, and so we had the entire state rooting for us. So everybody loves a Cinderella story, so they made up these t-shirts. So McAuley basketball, there's none better.
I feel bad for my players. Out of all my years of coaching, these last couple of years have really been fun.
How does it make you feel being back in here?
Happy. Sad.
I've found over the years, girls really come out of their shell, and by junior year, you can't get them to be quiet.
Felt really cool being the counselor because you had all those little girls that looked up to you. And that's a big responsibility, one that McAuley girls take on.
It's really sad to me, just because I'm a third generation. My mom went here, my grandmother went here. It was always in my blood. Like, I never considered any other school.
This is Sister Gerald. She was here forever. And I believe that's Johnny's chalk. So she used to name her chalk. A plaid skirt, gray or black tights, closed-toed shoes. So that's where Crocs became so popular. And then a white button-up shirt. And then later on it moved over to like a white polo. So you wore that skirt proudly.
People are saying, well, where's she going to go to school? What are you going to do? Well, I don't know, because to me, anything is a step down from this place.
We're going to do everything we can to keep it alive. So.
Now, when we learned the news in the newsroom yesterday, it was a similar reaction, because we have our team members that went to high school there. I know. Jess, so what are your favorite memories of going to high school there?
So many good memories. I love the one of Sister Gerald with the chalk that she named. I teach math at SMCC, and I still use her little songs, integers, 0, 1, 2, 3, to help you remember the songs. Sister Ruth was a great teacher. Cheering at all of those basketball games was so much fun. Seeing Mr. K in that package get emotional made me a little emotional.
Back tears.
Yeah, he was awesome. Had him as a math teacher.
Everyone was a professional, though, because as soon as I hit the record button, the tears would dry away. And, they would hold it together. But those values that were instilled for years, hundreds of, 141 years. I mean, it's remarkable.
It's crazy. And, obviously it was an all-girls school. I work in a male-dominated field, so I'm able to use my voice and speak confidently, and I know what part of that is because of McAuley.
Jess, thank you so much for sharing your personal connection there. So there is a GoFundMe to save the school available. We are going to have that information very shortly at our website and mobile app, as well as more on the history of Maine's only all-girls school.
All right. Here's something else a lot of you are talking about today. Tim Cotton of the Bangor Police Department posted a story to Facebook explaining they had to speak with a man at the 4th of July fireworks who was walking around with an American flag as a cape, wearing a mask, and clearly carrying a firearm. Lieutenant Cotton says the man understood why people got worried when they saw him, and he took the mask off. Cotton goes on to explain his opinion on carrying a firearm in public, saying, quote, "If you have a weapon and are determined to carry it for your personal reasons, please use common sense. Think about other people who don't understand your needs, and think about how they might perceive your activity." We have a link to the Bangor PD's entire post on our Facebook Live stream if you want to read it. Let us know what you think.
All right, well, the clock is ticking. Rescuers thought they had months to rescue the Thai soccer team stuck in a flooded cave, but now the teens are running out of air.
And it's supposed to be a game for kids, but perverted users are twisting the creative nature of Roblox. What parents need to know next.
Hi, everybody. Happy Friday.
I can't believe that. Wow, we had a long A block today.
I know, that was a long A block.
Yeah.
Catherine says, was very expensive. Sister Mary Joseph, that was a lifetime ago, was a great school.
Yeah.
Actually, one of the women I talked to today said that she got a job in high school to help pay for her tuition for her family. And now she used those skills she learned to become the businesswoman she is today.
Wow.
She owns her own business. It's actually something I've covered before, the roaming speakeasy.
Yeah.
That's her business.
Oh, no way. Oh, cool. That's awesome.
She was part of that Cinderella basketball team that went all the way to states from this tiny school, in her words. And she was going to bring like her jersey and everything, but she brought her yearbooks and her shirts, and it was just a mix of smiles and then tears, smiles and then tears. It really was a roller coaster ride for so many people who were there today.
I mean, and I get that. I mean, you know, when you go to high school, whether you like it or not, you do make a lot of formative memories during that time, and you make a lot of lifelong friends. Like, I still have friends from high school that I'm still in close touch with. You know, even though, I mean, a lot of my friends work in Boston. I haven't seen them in years, and that honestly, you know, makes me a little bit sad. But like, but you know,
you pick up where you left off.
Oh yeah, and I mean, and that's the thing. Like that, so that building is not just bricks and you know concrete. It's a lot
so
of memories
much more
for people where they came together and made friends. And yeah, I mean,
because it's the common denominator you have with all those people.
You got through the struggles, you got through the good stuff, you know. Yeah, that's tough. That's really tough. But
Marvin's watching from Peoria, Illinois. Hey, Marvin.
Oh, no way.
Say hi to everybody.
Do you know Marvin?
Unless this is someone with a different name, I don't think so. Marvin, do we know each other? I don't think so.
Rebecca, just to answer your question really quickly, no, CMP's not closing. That'd be a big deal.
Pam says the breeze feels so nice. It feels wonderful. It does. It was still sticky out there today.
All right. Hey, question for you guys. Do you let your kids play the game Roblox on your phone or internet? Roblox, R-O-B-L-O-X. Curious. The situation inside a Thai cave system grows more precarious with each passing day. Rescuers are running out of options to save the boys' soccer team trapped inside the flooded system more than a mile underground. The teens and their coach are running out of air, eliminating the option of drilling down into the mountain, which could take months. And a rescue diver died overnight while trying to bring supplies to the group.
And a trained professional lost his life, as we said, trying to get in and out of that cave. That just shows you how hard this would be for a group of kids who don't know how to scuba dive, let alone swim. Jim Dock is a scuba instructor here in Maine, and he says anyone trying to get certified needs to go through rigorous online classroom and hands-on training before they can scuba dive. He says that cave diving requires even more specialized training, and with the team underground for days in a weakened state, trying to navigate difficult currents with almost no visibility is a big risk.
Youngsters, and you know, the fact that the Thai Navy SEALs are struggling with this as well is kind of an indication that this is going to be a tough task.
And even if they tackle the scuba portion of that escape, the soccer team would then have to use full climbing equipment to get out, which is a totally different set of specialized skills.
Yeah, a lot to learn under a tight timeline. All right, it's just the latest example of politics turning hostile. But this time, the man is charged with a felony. We're talking about civility and politics when we come back.
And Goldilocks would hit the beach this weekend because it's not too hot and it's not too cold. It's just right. Keith's full forecast is next. Okay, so funny story, you guys. So you obviously just saw Keith's whiteboard. There is a theme called Bear Week in Provincetown every year, and I was there a couple years ago because it just so happened we were there for a friend's bachelorette party, and these guys who call themselves bears, they're basically like, you can imagine, I won't explain.
They look like bears?
Jess says, go ahead. They thought wait, this is like the highlight of my life. They thought I was Giada De Laurentiis.
Wow.
And they wanted to take a picture with me, and I was like, no.
That's awesome.
I know.
Yeah,
So
that's like
Paris
even
says
better
it's such a
than marrying
compliment.
your husband.
I know. So I was like, I need to go back to Bear Week for my ego, like, for my
Whenever
confidence.
you're feeling down, you just go back to Provincetown. They'll take care of
No, it was just a funny story that I'd share. Anyway, Coco's off to the newsroom. What's that?
Where do you want me?
Show I've ever watched.
Really? So you know Giada?
I don't know her.
Oh. I feel like I know her from watching. I don't know. Yes. Which camera? All right, so we're doing a white balance to make sure our cameras look balanced. So yeah, do you guys play that video game Roblox? We are going to have a story coming up on that in just a few minutes. Keith, it was still sticky out there today.
It's getting better now.
Like it was like the air was thick.
The vapors are thick.
The vapors. I love how you turn on your Maine / Mass accent.
I don't have a down east. That's a real deal.
The down east accent is a real thing.
You gotta work on that.
Yeah, bub.
We used to have a guy call in who was a weather watcher.
Yeah.
Pretty great accent.
Anyway, let us know what you guys are up to this weekend. It's supposed to be beautiful. I'm very excited about that. I'm going to an outdoor concert, so that's key.
You're going to a concert?
Yes.
What are you going to?
Slightly Stupid.
Oh my God, you love Slightly
I know. It's Sunday. Are you here this weekend?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm going to the concert on Saturday at Thompson's.
I know a lot of people that are going too. I might try to go too. Yeah.
Shocked that a popular kids video game called Roblox may contain graphic content. Your kid may have downloaded this game to your phone or tablet. Roblox is an internet-based game where people can build their own maps and interact with players from across the world. Now, while the game is intended to be kid-friendly, some people are manipulating the game's creative features to create provocative and, in some cases, explicit content. One mom posted on Facebook saying that her daughter's character was gang raped. Video game experts say that is the slim majority of the content in the game, but parents should know what type of interactions kids can have on the site.
And unfortunately, as old a concept as like open world exploration games for kids are, there's also the idea that there are adults that are just going to try to ruin it for everybody. With user-generated content, you kind of have to go a little bit beyond the rating of the game. The content could come from anywhere.
Nick from Bull Moose says there are lots of positive aspects for kids in games like Roblox, such as encouraging social behavior and creativity. He says that there are more than 11 million user-created worlds and that it's nearly impossible for the moderators to police every corner of that game. Lindsay?
All right, Chris, thanks. A teenage boy sitting in a fast food restaurant had a drink thrown in his face by a grown man because he was wearing a Make America Great Again hat. The video going viral.
Supporting the president. You ain't supporting
Okay.
It's gonna go great in my car, really.
Alright, have fun with it.
And that man was caught and booked on a felony charge. San Antonio police arrested Kino Jimenez and charged him with theft of person. If convicted, he faces a minimum sentence of 180 days in jail. He was also fired from his job. And when
Don Jr. saw the video, he said that he will send the teen a new Make America Great Again hat signed by President Trump. This is all part of that conversation that's happening everywhere right now about civility and politics. Do you think we cannot have polite conversations about politics anymore? Comment right now on our Facebook or YouTube live streams.
You know what a safe topic to talk about at any dinner table or at any cocktail party? The weather.
Not if Keith Carson's
Not with
involved.
me.
But not with Keith.
Not with me, it ain't. But
Leave it to Keith to argue with you
Speaking
about
of civility,
the weather.
I will find a
But
way.
you can't argue that it's going to be gorgeous this weekend.
Beautiful,
Okay.
beautiful. I think for most Mainers, this weekend is nicer than the last week because it's not as hot. It's still sunny. it's all good things.
Like your temper is cooling off.
Yeah, exactly, yeah. You know, here are the showers and storms that came through earlier today. We had talked about the timing of this front, and the earlier it came through, the less severe chance we had. And it came through around 9 or 10 in most spots, even earlier in the mountains. So the severe weather potential was not there. And the bonus is we're clearing out fast. A lot of us seeing sunshine across the interior, into the coastline, down East Maine, one of the last areas to totally clear out. But we'll all see that sun by the end of today, and the air mass is changing along with the wind direction. Take a look at these dew points, which were just brutal this morning. 75, 76 was the dew point over southern Maine. Now we're scouring that air out. You can see it visually with the contours where the last of the humid air is left over down East Maine and a little bit down across the north shore of Massachusetts. But this stuff is dry. 40s and 50s for dew points. And as a result, tonight we'll be on the cool side. The first time in about a week where we've had comfortable sleeping weather if you don't have air conditioning, with temperatures dropping into the 40s in a lot of spots and 50s even along the immediate coastline. So hour by hour forecast tonight is good. Tomorrow is fantastic. It's funny, I bet you that tomorrow morning you'll feel like it's a little coolish, like a little too coolish, because it'll be dry too. But by the afternoon, it'll be in the 70s to around 80 degrees, so it'll work out nicely. And then Sunday is a little bit warmer, so 80 along the coast, 84, 85 or so inland. Don't get too used to the reasonable temperatures though, because the torch is back for Monday. 90 along the coastline in southern coastal Maine, mid-90s again inland, Fryeburg, Lewiston, Sanford, 94, 95 degrees. But it won't be as humid, if that makes you feel any better. And it won't last as long either. Tuesday's a mild day too, but showers and thunderstorms come in. To be honest with you, the middle and end of the week is a little bit uncertain as to exactly what it's going to turn out to be because we've got a tropical system that's going to be around. It won't be impacting Maine directly, very much most likely, but it will be around. So what that does will impact if we're cooler, warmer, cloudier. So we've been on the stretch where we've been able to call the weather almost 2 weeks in advance. The first uncertainty in a while for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday next week, but it's not a big deal. It's not like blizzard uncertainty. You know?
Take what we can get, right?
All right, cooler temps waking up tomorrow. Thanks, Keith.
Yeah. All right, we see these all the time on Facebook. Lost dog found, or is this your cat? Call this number if you recognize this puppy. Now, a lot of times posting a picture on social media is the best we can do if the animal doesn't have a collar or microchip.
And one family got very, very lucky after their service dog ran away during the 4th of July fireworks. Alicia Nieves brings us the happy reunion.
I didn't know if she was going to come, but I did pray that God would bring her back to us.
If you pile extreme excitement on top of elation, on top of happiness beyond belief, this moment was so much more than that. Angel, a 9-year-old service dog, made it back home to her family.
Oh, God, thank God for touching your heart and keeping her safe.
Thanks to this woman, Danielle Joyner.
I was driving home on Hardscrabble, and she was in the middle of the road. So I was like, no, we need to get her out the road. So I stopped to like shoo her out the road, and she hopped in my car, and I was like, oh, you're scared of fireworks. That's why, because they were popping.
A police officer advised Danielle to take Angel to a shelter, but she felt compelled to keep the dog and instead share a picture of her on social media.
When I posted her on Facebook, and luckily she was on the news and everybody hit me up and was like, they found the dog.
Angel's return came as a welcomed surprise.
Hi.
For her owner, for the young woman she protects, Jocelyn.
Look who's here.
Jocelyn has cerebral palsy, and she has silent aspiration, and she suffers from seizures, and Angel looks after her, and when something's wrong with Jocelyn, she'll let us know.
In many cases of lost dogs, reunions like this one don't happen as quickly, if they ever happen at all.
Oh, you're welcome.
But maybe for Angel, with her family since Hurricane Katrina, a higher power is on her side.
Angel could never be replaced, never be replaced.
That's a good girl.
Alicia Nieves reporting from South Carolina. That's the story you want to see.
It's a great story. Great way to start the weekend.
Yeah.
You know what's another great way to start the weekend? News Center Maine at 5:30 because there's a lot more coming up. Cindy Williams has a preview. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, guys. Is violence in Portland being fueled by outsiders preying on the homeless? Well, neighbors are concerned that offenders from out of state are putting people in danger. We're going to have a lot more on that. And that's a big concern for a different neighborhood, which could be home to a new state-of-the-art shelter. We're going to explain why homeowners are concerned there coming up in the next half hour. Back to you.
All right, Cindy, thanks so much. Brain drops when we come back.
All right. Paul's answering our question that we asked earlier.
Yes.
Oh. Yes.
Cool dude.
Oh, I love this. All right, guys, we have a special Facebook special for you right now.
Sure.
We have a couple of extra Facebook things. Do you want to do your first one?
Yeah, real quick. We told you last week about 2 medical marijuana bills that were on the governor's desk. He vetoed both of them today, and he basically said that it was unsafe for people to try to operate not under state regulations and under regulations that are adopted by different international agencies.
Mm-hmm.
But he felt that the state really needed to be in command of those the regulations when it came to the medical marijuana here.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the first one. And then next up, back to dogs, because we love dogs, right? So Liam's going to fire up this picture of George H.W. with Sully, his new companion, and the caption says...
This is awesome. I love this, that he has his own Instagram.
I know! It got so many
And
followers so fast.
this is one of my favorite pictures.
It says, always an honor to be with my best friend. Oh my goodness. How many followers does he have? Can we see that? Is it possible?
I mean, this is an account that was created, what, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, look at 36,000 followers.
I gotta take some tips from
posts.
Sully about how to
I
get more followers on my
know.
Facebook page.
It should be Sully's School of Social Media.
I know, right?
That has a nice ring to it.
Really, really cool. I mean, I love stuff like that.
Yeah, me too.
And it's really nice. You know, I actually just created a professional Instagram of my own.
You did?
Yeah,
Have I
finally.
followed it yet?
I just
Thank
created
you.
it the other day.
All right, I gotta find you. I gotta follow it.
So it's Chris Costa TV.
Oh.
And so I'm trying to figure out from all of you guys, what do you want to see posted on
That's a good
that
question.
Instagram? Like, do you want to see like me when I'm out on stories, like, you know,
Like
really
behind
good
the
visuals?
scenes?
Do you
Yeah.
want to see behind the scenes? Do you want to see me at my desk? Like, do you want to see me at my house? Which I'm only going to show you, like,
We want to
you know,
see.
me making breakfast
we
or
want to see
something.
the
So
nudes. Okay.
Keith gets right to the point.
thanks, Keith. So
That's
anyway,
what Instagram's about.
yeah.
Okay. We're gonna have to move on.
Okay.
All right, this is a great viewer video that was sent to me by Amity Bean in Dixfield. And check this out, time lapse of a storm that rolled in this morning around 6:15. And it gets pretty cool and dramatic. She's got a nice view there of the mountains. There it is coming through with the downburst and then out as quickly as it came through. I thought that was cool because you don't get many sight lines in Maine for thunderstorms to see a distance. There's another shot of rain there. Let's go to Max 1, guys. I want to show you the cell. You can always match it up with reality, right? So this is roughly where she was in Dixfield, bam.
Wow,
So she got the nice
cool.
part of that cell. Interestingly, there was another one that came through. I don't know if she was taped out at that point, but there was another one that came through in the afternoon.
A downburst. Is that like something I can do with my phone?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. By the way, she's a paper florist, which I had to Google what that is. Apparently, it's a job where you make flowers out of like fake flowers.
Cool.
So now I kind of
that's
want
cool.
to see if like we can
Maybe
get
it's
some.
like those flower walls that people are. They're super popular at weddings. You take photos in front of them.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Well, either way, she takes good videos of weather,
Yeah.
so
Cool.
she's hired in my book.
And hopefully Amity stayed dry.
Yeah.
Cool.
News Center Maine at 5:30 starts right now. Guys, have a great weekend. Thanks for joining the conversation. Tell your friends about our YouTube live stream too. That's also an option. Bye.
Thank you.